Welcome into my team breakdown. Today I'm just going to be rambling on about the Pokemon I drafted for the season of the IDL. Um, so yeah, feel free to stick around and watch all of it. Kind of basic showdown set. I was hoping to get better graphics and everything, but unfortunately they weren't done in time. So whenever the next season that I upload is, we'll have some cooler graphics hopefully. But yeah, so my first pick was Espathra, and not only Espathra, it was Terra Captain Espathra. My Espathra can be Terra Fighting, Terra Psychic, or Terra Fairy. It was a 21-point mon, and Speed Boost is allowed in this league, which really led to me wanting to draft it. It was 21 points. It was definitely a big chunk of change, but the most standard sets you're going to see are either going to be probably not Agility, but mostly Calm Mind, or you're going to see you're probably going to see me run Roost or Protect a lot. I probably prefer running Roost than Protect, but I mean they're both going to be used. Lumina Crush, of course, is a great move. It always lowers special defense. That is super appealing. You're probably going to see Terra Blast on it a lot from me. There are some cool sets that you can run with a Substitute, or I like Substitute Roost sets. Those can be fun. It has some good coverage with Energy Ball. It has very limited flying coverage. It does get D-Gleam, which is pretty good. So if you ever see me with Terra Fairy, there's a chance I might just be running D-Gleam, although Terra Blast essentially does the same thing. Hyper Voice is good. It's a sound-based move if I ever wanted to get my Throat Spray. That could be fun. Shadow Ball hits for coverage. Stored Power is the set that really makes this mon dangerous. If you know about Espathra, Speed Boost plus Calm Mind, Stored Power sets really can just rip people. And a lot of the time you're probably going to see me running this with Heavy Duty Boots, Leftovers, occasionally the Life Orb, maybe. I'd say it's less likely. And then I've seen some sets with Assault Vest before. They're probably not going to see me running those. But yeah, this is just a really good mon. It's going to be my sweeper. Anyone that's battled me or has seen me battle before, I love my sweepers. The way I battle, I like, keeping my guys until the end and getting, a win with my guys. And this is one of those mons that, if you save it for the bottom or for the last third of the battle, there's a good chance you're just going to be able to sweep if you can get rid of the opponent's Dark type or Steel type. And then even if they do have a Dark type or Steel type, I do have a Fighting type Terra now. Or, if they are very scary and I need to be more defensive, I'll probably just go into Fairy type. Or if I need those super psychic, super stored powers, Terra Psychic is going to be there to help. This was a 21-point mon. I was close to the end of the first round when it came to draft order. Espathra was the 14th pick, I believe. And I was hoping that this was on my big three of Pokemon. My number one was Terra Urshifu Rapid. That was available for 26 points. And then Terra Dragonite was available also for 26 points. And then the only other Pokemon I had on my list in the first round was this Espathra, which we are going to be calling Bulma. And yeah, I'm super thrilled to have it. This was always on the list. I have been wanting to use it this entire generation of Pokemon. And in no league I've been in has Speed Boost been allowed. So I'm glad I waited and I got the privilege to use it. Next, we got Zeus, or Urshifu. I believe this is Single Strike. It's the Dark type one. This Pokemon is super cool. I didn't have any expectation to draft this Pokemon. I thought it would be gone. But whenever you look at the typing, Psychic, Fighting, Dark, those are three types that work super well together. They don't have any real shared weaknesses. Now, they both are kind of frail when it comes to special defense. They both have base 60, which is very low. But this is a mon that can be Assault Vest. This is a mon that you can invest attack in if you don't need max speed. You can invest HP in if you don't need max speed. And yeah, it can kind of be a threat. This mon, It's not going to be a wall at all, though. This mon, it has crazy moves. It's going to have close combat, bulk up. Those are going to be its main, setup move probably is going to be bulk up. It's going to have Swords Dance also if I don't need that defense boost. Sucker Punch, really, really appealing to me. It's a faster U-turn mon. Wicked Blow always results in a crit. It is super, super cool. It has all the punches, Poison Jab, Iron Head. It's going to come in and do a lot of damage. It's base 130 attack. If I go on Adamant, that is almost a 400 attack, which should be enough to just rip any wall that isn't built specifically to wall it. Should be enough. And if I get the coverage right, I mean, it has so many good moves. Trailblaze is something that I would love to get my hands on, get a Trailblaze sleep at some time this season. I will just need to find the right matchup for that. But yeah, this is Zeus. He's just going to be doing his thing. He is probably going to be the main attacker when it comes to the mid part of the battles. The way I envision this being used, kind of a fast pivot mon, being banded or being scarfed some weeks, maybe heavy duty boots or the punching pads, whatever it's called, the glove, I think. Punching glove could be cool. Probably not the punching glove. Protective pads is what I'm thinking of. Because a lot of people will probably be running a Rocky helmet into this mon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It is not going to be Terra-ing, so I'll just say that I'm normal. There is no Terra-ing this guy, but it's just going to be coming in. It has a very diverse move pool. Facade could be pretty fun to mess with. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is. We all know this mon's just going to be a bulldozer of a Pokemon. Nice, powerful nickname in Zeus. And I'm excited to use it. I've never actually used it in competitive before. So yeah, on to the next mon. My third round pick, which was 14 points, is Honeydew, the Primarina. It is probably going to have Liquid Voice instead of Torrent most weeks. But look at this special defense. Look at that special defense. 116. This one's 60, this one's 60. I needed a specially defensive mon. This was one of them. Careful. We'll just say careful to get the plus. That is 331, which is humongous, especially in a good defensive typing with Fairy, and water itself is also pretty good when it comes to defense. It's just going to be able to eat hits. Just going to eat hits. You're probably going to see a lot of leftovers from this set. Probably going to see a lot of Assault Vests from this set. Anything else I could see? I've seen Scarfed on this mon before. I'm not a big fan of that. I like it more defensively, kind of being the pivot, because it does have Flip Turn. It also gets Haze, which is really good for breaking down those big scary Pokemon. This one also has Store Power, which I saw when I was looking into it. Probably not going to be the way I use it. Perish Song's cool. I have actually used this mon in draft before. Whirlpool, Perish Song was a combination that did a lot for me. But let's be honest, this mon's biggest pull offensively is going to be Moonblast. Fairy Spam is just so good in this game. And it also gets Hydro Pump. I'm probably going to be running Surf a lot more instead of that, but it also gets Ice type moves. Alluring Voice is super cool for if I want to break down a Pokemon that's sitting up in front of me. And then Energy Ball is super cool. Grass type move, it's going to be doing damage. Psychic Noise is super cool also in terms of breaking down their walls because they can't get their leftovers, they can't get their recovery. Weather Ball can be cool. I've seen some cool stuff with that. Sparkling Area is potentially cool just because it does bigger damage than Surf. What was that Ice type move? Maybe I was wrong. Whatever, it does big damage. I'm probably going to be running Surf instead, maybe Hydro Pump even more so than that. But yeah, it has a pretty diverse move pool when it comes to being a wall. It's going to be... I don't know why that disappeared. Okay, I'm sorry, 364, because I didn't realize it changed whenever I took it out. 364 is humongous, considering this one is going to be 156, same with my Espathra. This mon is just going to be here to, take hits, kind of absorb them. Draining Kiss is super cool if it is against like a dark type, because I can get my damage back and I can still be something like Assault Vest and get my health back. My next pick is going to be Ogerpon Cornerstone. This is my 14-point Mon. Honestly, I've never used this Mon before. I'm super duper excited to use it. You'll probably see me bring out some counter strategies this season. Horn Leech, just such a great move. Ivy Cudgel, super duper cool move. And this is a 100% accurate rock type move, which is not common at all. It's not something that you're going to see. Knockoff, super cool move. It gets rid of items. You'll probably see me use that quite a bit. Spiky Shield, Stopping Tantrum, Swords Dance, U-Turn, Trailblaze, Woodhammer. Those are all moves that you'll probably see me use throughout the season. This Mon is super cool. Base 120 attack, 110 speed. The lack of item kinda sucks, but I do get a little bit extra boost. That .125 is nice. 110 is a pretty good speed tier, so I am pretty content with that. And yeah, I am very super duper excited to use this Mon. It could be pretty fun. I've never used it before. Apparently, it's one of the more fun ones to use of the Ogerpons because of the sturdy shenanigans. It also gets spikes, which none of my other Pokemons up to this point can set up any hazards. So being able to have a spike setter, as well as something with like, you can mess around with taunt, synthesis. Those are cool moves. It just has a lot of utility, and obviously, the biggest pull is this attack stat as well as its speed stat. These are pretty good. So my next pick was Iron Moth. It was a 16-point Mon, and another pull to this Pokemon really to me was the special defense, because I'm super duper weak special defensively. I needed a fire type that could, one, take some hits for me, and two, look at this 140 special attack. That is insane. It goes up to 410 whenever you're maxed out. And then the coolest part about Iron Moth, in my opinion, because its speed tier is essentially a fake tier. So what you'll probably see me doing a lot is some shenanigans like this set, a lot of HP or a lot of special defense, something like that. But yeah, this is the way to get its booster speed off, so its speed actually gets up to very, very high levels. I'm pretty sure it cannot speed anything scarf below it whenever it has that booster up, so that is super cool. It was a 16-point Mon. This was my round 5 Mon. I was very shocked to see it last this long, especially in a league where it can Terra. I didn't end up drafting the Terra version of it. But look at these moves. It has Discharge for those water types. It has Energy Ball for those water types. D-Gleam, super good coverage. Bug Buzz, super good coverage. Air Slash, super good coverage. All of the fire moves, all the poison moves. Cuts moves like Energy Beam if I want to run the item that makes it work in one hit. Morning Sun for recovery, potentially. Overheat just rips. U-Turn if I happen to want to use it. Toxic Spikes and Spikes. Toxic and Toxic Spikes are super good. Substitute could have some ability. Psychic is just also just such a good coverage move, as well as Hurricane, Flash Cannon. It's just a super diverse move pool, and I'm super excited to give it a shot. It's definitely not something I've used before. I actually have used it before, but I only had it for a limited amount of time towards the end of the season. And I would like to give it a true look at, because it seems like it can be a threat. And it seems like this can be a Mon that can take over matches. And that's something I'm looking for in these middle rounds. I have my Sweepers in a Spothra and Urshifu field. I wanted Mons that could come in and dominate the game if they had to, which is why I was looking at Mons like Ogerpon and Iron Moth. But they can both also work well off of those two main Mons, in my opinion. This is just going to be a good sponge in some cases, that special defense mixed with the HP. I could definitely see some sets like something like that come in some week, maybe max HP, some of that. You lower this to 117, and then you can put a lot into special defense. So you still get that speed boost, and then you're able to pop off a little bit, because that 316 is still enough to kill most mons that you would need. But yeah, this is going to be a fun mon to prep with, fun mon to use, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it. And then my next mon, I actually picked up Bando the Lando. This mon I have not had much success with in Draft League in the past. Once again, this is not going to be terraing, but I love this Pokemon. 145 attack, this thing can just rip. I'm probably not going to be investing a lot of attack most weeks. Something I do love about this mon, Scarf. Wrong one. Scarf Special. I love its move pool. It has the ground type moves that are special, of course. It has moves like Extrasensory, Psychic. It has the Sludge Wave. It has its special move, Sandsear Storm, which is freaking insane. It has Grass Knot, Focus Blast. It has Calm Mind, which is pretty cool. The way I envision it running most weeks is probably going to be some sort of U-turn Stealth Rock, honestly, but we'll see. It just depends on the matchup. I'm not somebody that uses hazards in the most complicated way. I don't like bringing hazards if I don't have to, just because I like having diverse move pools instead. But yeah, this mon is going to be pretty fun to mess with. It has Taunt as well, which is always fun. Swords Dance, which I can't really imagine myself using too much, if I'm being honest. With that 145 special attack, he doesn't need boosts. I'm sorry, attack. It doesn't need a boost. But yeah, Stomping Tantrum, pretty cool. You can have some tech. Endure Custap. Who knows? But yeah, pretty cool. My next pick was Starscream, the Noivern. It was 8 points. Let me tell y'all why this mon was drafted. This move, Defog. My team is incredibly weak to hazards so far. And by my team, I mean Espathra and Iron Moth specifically. So this mon, one of its goal is to just get fast, very, very rapid fast. Defogs off. It's not going to be doing a lot of damage. Boom Burst is cool. Draco Meteor is cool. It gets Dragon Dance. Probably not going to be physical with that base 70. Dragon Dance is cool. It gets agility. It has a pretty diverse move pool. It is a dragon. It gets Moonlight. I can heal it if I need to. It gets Roost. Psychic Noise is pretty awesome when it comes to breaking down walls. Super Fang is something that I've seen before, and I'm looking forward to testing it out because it can break down those walls as well. Tailwind can be brought. I don't see myself bringing it too often. It isn't my type of move. U-turn can come, probably not going to come. But yeah, this mon isn't a Terra Captain. This mon is really just a speed tier. That 1, 2, 3 speed is pretty cool. If I go Timid, that's its max speed, which is super good. 123 is a great speed tier. I don't think this mon is that amazing, if I'm being honest. I just very much need it for this role. If it comes a lot, you're probably going to see Focus Sash sets, probably going to see heavy duty boot sets. You might see some spec sets. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, it does have a little bit of natural bulk with that base 80, 85 HP, base 90 defense. Not too bad, as well as base 80 defense, as well as base 80 special defense. Those are both passable. The big thing, though, is if there's any Ice-type Pokemon on the opposing team, especially if it gets the Ice Shard priority, good chance I won't be able to bring it. Just because it's a tough bring defensively, it just gets ripped by any single ice move. But yeah, it also gets Focus Blast, so who knows? Maybe I find a workaround. Maybe I give it the Ice Berry, make it resist a move, and then use Focus Blast or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited to use it. It is base 123 speed, definitely my fastest mon. Next, I got Footrest, the Avalugg, similar to the Starscream. This mon gets a very specific move called Rapid Spin. It gets rid of hazards. I've heard nothing but bad reviews from everyone I've talked to about Avalugg. So my goal is to change the stigma around Avalugg. People think it's bad, it's slow, it dies. Those may be true. But I am excited to find a way to make this mon good. Mirror Coat, super fun. It doesn't get counter, but Mirror Coat is the way that it's going to die in most cases. You can pack some HP in it. You can probably pack attack in it for like Earthquakes, and then just let it get down to sturdy. And if you can time it right, you can kill a mon with Mirror Coat, which is super convenient. But the way you're going to see this mon used offensively is going to be high horsepower, maybe Ice Spinner, Iron Head. I mean, its move pool isn't that great. It does have some tech. I could see it becoming cool. If I can somehow get the Snow Up, Aurora Veil would be super cool. And I'm sure I have a couple mons with Snowscape on my team that would be able to help get it all set up. But we'll see. Next pick was Broly, the Duraludon. So if I'm being honest, this mon was something that I knew I wanted to draft as soon as I drafted Primarina. I either wanted Hisuian Gudra or Duraludon. I was trying to find a way to make the Gudra work, and it got taken. Simply put, my friend Oscar, he took it before I could, and that did suck a little bit. But I'm excited to give this mon a chance, because if it comes, it's probably going to be Eviolite. Its abilities are really bad, honestly. I'm using him on without an ability, essentially, and that does kind of suck. But it's going to have moves like Draco. It has the Ice type. I'm sorry. It does not have the Ice type moves. It has the Steel type moves. Because look at these stats. 115 defense, 120 special attack. This mon, especially with the Eviolite, it's going to be eating hits. It's going to be eating everything. So I have Steel Beam, super cool. Thunder Wave, Flash Cannon, of course, and then a Dragon type moves. Its move pool isn't that deep, but where it does also help is it's another Stealth Rocker. I don't have a lot of those. It is a mon that can simply just take hits, which is something I like. I like Thunder Wave a lot on this mon. It helps with its speed tier being kind of mid. But yeah, this is a mon I had my eye on the entire draft. It is a mon that can actually Terra. This mon is going to be Terra Dragon, Terra Fairy, and then Terra Water, which is just that's just a standard good defensive move or type. But yeah, its move is just going to kind of be a sponge for my team. My goal is to have it just eating hits, and yeah, it's cool typing. I needed a Dragon type move that's a little bit more consistent than my Noivern. I knew I was going to be drafting this mon the entire time. I didn't hear anyone really talking about it, so I left it till the last rounds. But yeah, I am super excited to use it, give it a shot. I haven't heard much about it, and I am hoping to put it on the map in the draft community because it is a super, super duper cool mon. And yeah. Next, we got Charles, aka Moist Critical, the Morgrim. It is simply just a prankster mon. You're going to see this mon come with screens. In most cases, Thunder Wave. Does it get Will-O-Wisp? It doesn't get Will-O-Wisp. I thought it did, but that's alright. Sucker Punch, super cool move. Parting Shot, super cool move. Fake Out, Priority, make them flinch, whatever. Trick, another super cool move. This mon's probably also going to have the Eviolite if it comes. I would say the chances of this mon coming aren't the best every week. It is only a 2-point mon for a reason. Its Terra types are Fairy. Its second type is going to be Steel, and then the last one is going to be Ghost. I did need a Ghost type on this team. It is lacking that. If any moves are made in the future, it'll probably be made to get a Ghost type. And yeah, let me pull this up. This is just my prep document. This is kind of showing everything. The speed tiers over here I think are super good because they go all the way down. This 110 with Iron Moth is kind of fake because it can get the booster. Then a Spothra, this speed tier doesn't even exist because it has speed boost. But looking at my issues, Fairy is somewhat of an issue on my team. I say somewhat because the only ones that can really safely switch into it are going to be Iron Moth and Primarina. So I need to find some way to work around that, maybe using Fairy Berry on Urshifu and then outspeeding them and hitting Poison Jab or something. That is a little bit scary. Steel, I am a little bit weak to, but I am not going to be bringing Morgrem every week. I might bring it once or twice the entire season. Avalugg coming maybe twice the entire season. And then Ogerpon, which I can just U-turn on with steel types. Or like if it's like a Heatran, I can just hit low kick. There's workarounds to that weakness. Rock, yeah, but I'm probably not going to be bringing, like I said, these two mons, Avalugg and Noivern, too often. Besides that, I don't have a lot of weaknesses. That Fairy one is the only one that really, really spooks me. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to figure everything out. My special defense across the board is pretty low, but Avalugg, Morgrem, and then my 2 stars kind of bring that way down. Once you get rid of the Morgrem and Avalugg, it goes way up. Yeah, it goes up to 82, which is humongous. Just gonna add it back in. But yeah, so it's gonna be super fun to play with this team. I'm happy to be back into draft again, and I am definitely looking forward to the season. I want to say shout out to, let me pull up the mods. It is gonna be Twisted Games, and then another mod that I know of is gonna be Zachmander. I believe there's a couple more mods that I haven't talked to yet in this server, but yeah, definitely shout out Zachmander and shout out my guy Twisted for the invite. I believe Ionite is someone that's in the server and a mod that's not playing in this league. And I know they did something with the dog. So shout out those guys for inviting me and letting me into the league. I'm super duper looking forward to this season. Post will be up every single Saturday whenever the scheduling starts. This is a upload require league. So every single person in the league is going to be uploading, which is super cool. I've never been in an upload require league, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this goes. I'm happy to be pumping out content again. And yeah, it's going to be a good season. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all enjoyed this team breakdown. And yeah, that's it for me. Have a good one.